Hi, Malcolm Nance. We made it. We made it to the promised land.
Oh, my God. Best Steffi show ever today.
Ever. So, Malcolm, do we have to worry that he still has the nuclear football for another hour and a half, or no? Do we need to worry?
Look, that's just a bag with radios in it. No one's following orders from that guy. Believe me.
Well,
it looks nuke Paris right now.
Oh my God. We just had Sarah Kendzior on, and she's been saying the same thing I have, that I just still am so nervous about this inauguration. And now we have 12 National Guard members that were removed for, right-wing extremist ties and or something that came up in their background check. I mean, it is fairly extraordinary that we're having to talk about the Secret Service, perhaps having to protect Biden and Harris against rogue members of our own National Guard from our own citizens.
Well, it's a threat that's happened before. We actually do. It's called own force monitoring, own force counterintelligence, where, news to you, if you're in the military or the National Guard, they will go through your internet. They can monitor your phones. They can look at your text. It's part of your being in the service. And they can check they can scrub and see if you've made any negative comments of harm against the vice president, or I'm sorry, the president-elect here. And
yeah,
we're already on the dais. They're already in the Capitol, which is awesome. And the best part about it is they're going to go through that portcullis, that pocket that the rioters broke through and killed a policeman the other day. They're going to walk right down to the spot where they thought they would overthrow the government. And
listen, I'm all happy about it in the symbolism if everything goes okay.
Believe me, I spent all yesterday in D.C. It is a fortress. Yeah. And when I say fortress, imagine every intersection of every street that leads down to the Capitol or the White House has a heavily armored truck, a minimum of 6 fully body armored and armed guys with a policeman who's also there to effect the arrest after these guys.
And you talked about clearing not just the airspace, but, that I like, obviously, that they cleared enough area that, because people were like, what about snipers? What about buildings? That they cleared enough area, hopefully, that, right?
Remember 2 weeks ago when I said they need to create a national special security exclusion zone from K Street South? Turns out they were listening. Everything south of K Street to the water, all of the bridges, all of the tunnels, they are all closed, rock solid. There are 3 different security zones with thousands upon thousands of soldiers. The entire route is wall to wall, soldiers standing elbow to elbow.
How concerned are you? How concerned are you about them obviously missing some people within the 25,000 of the National Guard? I mean, we got 12 that they asked to step down. But go ahead.
These guys, if they're going to do something, they're going to do it in front of their other 5 friends who are all armed, right? Mm-hmm. And we've had, in Iraq and Afghanistan, we have these insider threats. But I think that everybody is there to do their job, which is to uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. This is the ultimate example of it, protecting and defending the Constitution. Nothing's going to happen today.
Yes, I think it was Bill Maher that said, "Oh well, Joe Biden's kind of a tragedy magnet," and I'm like, "Don't say oh."
You know what? Joe's day. We're all gonna look. I already got the champagne all cooled up for tonight.
Yeah.
So I can watch the big show from the comfort of my bed, and watch all these great things. And what about that presentation last night for the coronavirus victims?
Oh,
yes, heartbreaking. And
oh my God.
Something wonderful. He said, not only is it visible from space, if you were to look at Washington, D.C., he said we should consider leaving that as a permanent memorial to what will likely be 600,000 or 700,000 people who died.
Oh my God! I started crying yesterday. First with him talking about Bo and that when I die, my heart will have Delaware on it, and then but I mean, this is the first time, Malcolm, we've even been able to mourn our 400,000 dead. Here's Biden yesterday.
And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If there are any angels in heaven,
They're all nurses. We know from our family experience what you do, the courage and the pain you absorb for others. So thank you. Thank you.
I don't know what number was that, Sean? That was 10. Okay, I asked for 8. Yeah, just let's start. Or,
Many
I'm sorry.
months.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We're talking about, this is from the memorial that Malcolm's mentioning, right? Sorry, we're going remote here, Malcolm. Yeah, give me cut 11. Cut 11.
To heal,
yeah.
We must remember. It's hard sometimes to remember, but that's how we heal. It's important to do that as a nation. That's why we're here today. Between sundown and dusk, let us shine the lights in the darkness along the sacred pool of reflection. Remember all whom we lost.
Oh, I mean, Malcolm, I said, you know, I voted for Elizabeth Warren, but it's like I said, he was like made for this moment in time. I mean, when he talks about loss that we've all experienced as a nation, and you just see all of his own personal loss in his face, he's exactly what we need to heal this nation at this time, don't you think?
Yes, absolutely. It's great to have a president of the United States, not a moron in chief, not a self-serving, pathological, lying narcissist in chief, but a president of the United States. And you know he means it when he says he's going to be president for everybody, even those people that reject him. You know, saving their lives and their families' lives is the ultimate goal. But more importantly, he feels it. He's empathizer in chief, and it's not an act. Oh, look, I don't know if you guys saw it when Trump left today, but did you see that death grip he had on Melania's hand? Like, hey, come along, we're supposed to be a couple? No empathy. These people hate each other. And, you know, they can move back to Moscow, or they can move to wherever it is they're going to go after this. But now there's going to be a great recalibration. We are going to feel like we are back to where we were. And him doing all the executive orders today is definitely going to start recalibrating this country.
Well, Malcolm, and it ends as it began, right? With one of these insurrectionists trying to sell Nancy Pelosi's computer to Russia, you know, with Donald Trump trying to declassify, you know, information from the Russia probe at the last minute that he somehow thinks is going to help him. I am happy, first of all, starting at noon today, Eastern, we have an American president again, not a Russian puppet. I mean, your thoughts on all of that, on the Russian declassification and everything he's trying to do?
I'll tell you, it's all going to come out over the next few months. I'm just going to be sitting there every morning, 3 a.m., hitting recycle on the front page in the New York Times and Washington Post to find out how deep a traitor this man was. Yeah. And I don't now, you know, you guys know how I resisted that phrase for a very long time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It means something very specific. I suspect we're going to find out it was something very specific. I think that these people have sold their souls. Look, he pardoned Steve Bannon last night, the most corrupt of them all. But my favorite part of all of this, despite what we're going to hear, despite having the wonderfulness of a new president, the best part is Donald Trump did not pardon Julian Assange or
Edward Snowden.
Or, my favorite part, the people who destroyed the Capitol, the insurrectionists, terrorists. Y'all on your own. And on your own means the entire weight and force of the United States government is coming down on you.
By the way, Malcolm, don't you?
Are these people going to feel abandoned? Okay.
Go ahead.
Are these people going to feel abandoned by Donald Trump? You know, because they are acolytes of him, and he let them down. Are they going to feel abandoned, or what's their psychology going to be?
Well, you know what? I've been monitoring these people all day, and they're breaking into two groups. We've lost the greatest president we've ever had, and the swamp got to him. And the other groups who are saying QAnon, all of that stuff was lies. You know, Trump was a good president. My favorite part, especially on these specific forums I monitor, is how they're angry that Trump actually implemented more gun control than Barack Obama.
Wow. Okay.
After mass shooting, getting rid of bump stocks and all these things, they're like, wait a minute, this guy was a New York liberal. So that being said, I would like to announce something that I haven't announced. And that is, I have a new book coming out.
What?
Hello.
The official title of the new book is called, and I started this book last August, and I sort of hinted at it when I was on Bill Maher in November, that there was going to be an insurgency, and that's what's coming. The book title is They Want to Kill Americans.
Oh, wow. Yes, yes, indeed.
The title is the armed militias, fanatic terrorists, and the deranged ideology of the coming Trump insurgency. Because from this point, what's going to happen is Trump is going to form the Patriot Party, which is hilarious because that.
I am for it.
Yeah.
And he is going to launch this thing. They're already talking about it. And he is going to try to get a mouthpiece. And he's going to shift to OANN. And that is where he's going to call his minions to arms. And we are going to have an active paramilitary, political, and quite possibly terrorist insurgency over the next 4 years. And this book, this is the owner's manual on who these idiots are. Because when it happens, it's going to happen fast.
All right. Malcolm, so real quick, I wanted to go back to the him not pardoning Assange and Snowden. So our good friends on the far left, I don't know, Glenn Greenwald, I don't know who else. What's your take on that? Because you're like, he obviously doesn't want Julian Assange to have to tell the truth about Russia in 2016, right?
He doesn't think that deeply. Every person that he pardoned gave him something, money. And I suspect a lot of these people who may have collected money for this, these lawyers who took, and I suspect there's bribes going on. And those will be state crimes.
Thank you. By the way, Bannon, what do you call it? He was indicted for defrauding Trump supporters. He was recently banned from YouTube for calling for the beheading of Dr. Fauci. He was charged with wire fraud and money laundering for misusing funds from a private effort to build the wall. Ellie Honig, who you know, tweeted, and now the feds at SDNY need to walk the Bannon case file across the street to the Manhattan DA. That theft is theft, and it's a state crime too. So karma's not done, and the law's not done with these people.
There's no. This isn't double jeopardy when karma just gets right to you. All right, you deserve everything you're gonna get. All the drums are on the table. The people who looked the worst, the most unhappy at Andrews Air Force Base this morning was Don Jr. and Eric. They really looked like they were on the verge of tears.
Eric definitely looked like he was about to cry.
Approximately 1 hour and 12 minutes, you people are civilians who can be prosecuted for everything you've done.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
And by the way, Malcolm, I loved your tweet that, we won, bitches. And, you're done, including Mike Pompeo, who tweeted wokeism, multiculturalism, all the isms. They're not who America is. They're exactly who America is.
Mm-hmm.
He said they distort our glorious founding. Our glorious slave-owning founding and what this country's all about. You said, according to Secretary Pompeo, e pluribus unum equals authoritarianism. I mean, good riddance to all these people, right?
Point something out to that beautiful building they're having this demonstration at. They're having this inauguration at. At the tippy top of that Capitol, at the foot of the Statue of Columbia, which, by the way, was designed by an African-American woman. The entire building was by Black slaves. There are 12 letters. And those 12 letters, the pinnacle statement of the United States is e pluribus unum, from many, one. Mike Pompeo literally said that equals authoritarianism. I don't think this guy went to West Point at all. I think these people are a bunch of fascists, and they want, I wrote books about it. They want to be part of an axis of autocracies. That's done. We go to war now with those people with democracy. Democracy's back, baby, and the United States is going to be leading it.
Yep, and Malcolm Nance has written already the how-to manual on how we are going to work, this new civil war that they're going to probably force us into. We need to be ready. We need to stay on that wall. We love you, Malcolm Nance.